Welcome to my kitchen and welcome to a makeover on a budget. As you see, I'm removing the contact paper from my counter, and I will tell you that there was very little stickiness left once it was up. Although it was not very easy to remove, it was a little bit time consuming, but that's really okay. I did start to use a butter knife to remove the contact paper, and you will see later on that I changed over to a plastic scraper, which if you rent an apartment and you've done this and you need to remove, I suggest that you go with a plastic scraper so that you're not damaging the countertops or anything else. I will say that this is very apartment safe. With just a little Goo Gone, the stickiness could be wiped right off the counter. There was very little stickiness involved. As you see, I was putting my hands all over the counter. If it had been super sticky or sticky all over the place, I wouldn't have touched it. This video is mostly just me removing, laying down the new contact paper, and my son helping me to put the new contact paper up on the wall, because I will tell you, the pattern was not matching up for me, and I would definitely, if I do this again next time, go with a different brand of contact paper. It was absolutely not my favorite because of the not matching up, and I did decide to stop at the edge of the countertop and right directly below the cabinet for the simple fact that it wasn't matching up. It really did not come with as much contact paper as I had thought that it did. I have a little bit left over in case some needs to be replaced, and I did have to throw away a few strips of it because it gave me a problem, and the countertop gave me a problem as well. And I would have gone much wider with the countertop paper than what I did. There's a lot of seams. My son said I should have run it the long way, but I tried to, and I was having massive problems with it, ripping, stretching, and just, it was easier to lay it the way that I did, even with the seams. If I had bought an extra roll, I probably could have matched the designs up a little bit better, but it is what it is. It's a temporary, just a fun thing. And it's what it was really intended for, just to change things up. I get bored if my kitchen looks the same all the time. I used to love when we used to move and things were new and fresh, and I guess this is just my way of obtaining that without getting up and moving. So anyway, enjoy watching, and I will be back shortly to chat with you and discuss some more about the process of doing this. The last time that I did this, and of course you didn't get to see it because I never showed it, I ran my contact paper to the edge of the sink, and then I went around it with caulking, and it did not look good. So this time I lifted my sink up and made sure that the contact paper ran underneath the sink. And when I get to the store, I'm going to buy some silicone caulking and put it under the edges of the sink. Now, this is where I'm trying to lay the contact paper on its side, the long way, and I still would have ended up with a seam towards the middle. Not as many seams, but still would have ended up with a seam. I may have been able to do it better, but the way that I was doing this, it just kept ripping and stretching and giving me a problem. Later on in the video, you'll see, though, that I started the contact paper at the bottom edge and worked my way up, and that was actually much easier. And I think had I thought of that prior, that possibly doing it sideways would have worked to some degree. I'm not sure. You live and you learn. So making it go under the sink, though, was kind of a process for me, and it just, again, I had problems with things ripping and stuff. This contact paper is the same brand as the black, but it did seem like it was a bit on the thinner side. And I also realized, and my son realized, that you can see through it to a certain degree, which for me did not at all make me happy. The only thing I could think of to fix this, if I was to use the same brand again, would be to do something with the countertop itself to change the color of it, so that it's lighter, so that you wouldn't be able to see through it. But like I said, contact paper is a temporary solution, or a temporary change. My countertop itself is in okay condition and really doesn't need contact paper over it. I do it just to change the look of things. So, and again, I don't put tons and tons of effort into this because I know that eventually it's going to just be pulled up. I mean, if you're looking for a quick change, contact paper is an awesome temporary solution. This brand, I have been able to put hot pans on it. It doesn't leave marks. It does, obviously, you can't cut into it no more than you can a countertop. It's going to leave knife marks in it and stuff. It's a nice way to protect the countertops, and as a renter, it's a nice way to change things up to the way that you want them if you rent. And it's also pretty, it's really not that expensive to do. You can even go to the Dollar Tree and buy contact paper. I've used it on my freezer and my washer and dryer, and it absolutely has held up very well from the Dollar Tree. This stuff I got off Amazon. It's Lively 9 brand. And the black, I really, really thought the quality was good. The quality on this is fine. It's just the lighter color is slightly see-through. I did wipe my counters down, but underneath the sink with all the caulking, some got underneath, and you'll see you probably saw that I cut something out from the under the contact paper, and I had to cut a piece of caulking out from underneath it. So I did overlap this to cover up that hole because I don't want water leaking underneath the contact paper. And I did lose a lot of footage. My camera, it was hot in this kitchen. I don't know if you noticed my face, but it was just super hot in here today. My camera kept overheating. So you're getting this video in chunks of time that you're probably missing some of what we did, but you're getting the basic gist of it. The hardest part, I think, was fitting behind the sink because I could only lift the back of the sink up so much, and there was still some caulking underneath it, but I did eventually fit it in and get it to sit in there correctly. There were a few places that I did get a fair amount of wrinkling in this, and I don't know if I caught the part where I cut some out. I think it might have been here, and I don't think it picked up the part where I cut it out, but I recovered it and did it again. But you can see to the right of the faucet that there's some wrinkling, and I'm going to live with it for now. I do have a little bit more of this contact paper and probably will eventually fix it, but for now I was just worn out, tired, and it just wanted it up at that point. My son is in here giving me advice, and eventually he takes over because the first piece that I put up went okay, but lining it up was really, really, really a challenge. And the paper, if you notice, is wrinkling, stretching, doing all kinds of silly stuff. It's not a perfect project by any means. I'm not saying that I'm an expert at doing this. I'm showing you how I did it. I find that the best thing to do is to use a soft cloth to go over it, and to really go slow. I think at this point I was getting tired and a little bit rushed because the side behind the dishwasher that my son did was just absolutely perfect. He is so good at stuff like this and has such patience. And yes, I know that the kitchen was a mess, that we were working around a mess. And the thing is, I figured that I felt like doing it, and sometimes when I feel like doing something, I will just jump into doing it. Otherwise, it never gets done. Trevor is a good guy. He was homeschooled his whole life. Some of my other kids did attend public school for quite some time, and he is extremely smart. He helped his brother with his house, and his brother lives out on the street behind me. He drywalls, he laid carpet, that kid, I'm telling you, can do anything that he puts his mind to. And I'm not saying that just because I'm his mother. He is exceptionally, exceptionally bright. And I am super proud of him, and I appreciate everything that he does for us and all of his help around here and his willingness to jump in and help with any little project that I come up with. He is just super, super smart and super helpful. It was perfect. Well, and as you see, I'm putting the contact paper on the wall and ripping it off, and it does absolutely no damage to the paint underneath it. So, as far as I can see, contact paper over paint, it seems to land just fine. It seems to pull up just fine. So, also another renter-safe option if you want your walls to look different. They also do make removable wallpaper, which I just found out today, and that stuff is so pretty, some of it. So this is a good option, and removable wallpaper is also a really, really nice option. It's probably a bit more expensive. I haven't priced it. I am going to, because I have some other ideas. Don't worry, Trevor, it won't be too patterned. And yeah, so that's another good idea to look into. And as you can see, we are kind of jumping around in this video because, yeah, I did lose a lot of footage. But like I said, you get the basic idea of it. And today, which is when I'm voiceovering this video, I am going to be putting the rest of the stuff into the room. I'm gonna get it cleaned up before we do that, and there should be a video out for you tomorrow that will continue this makeover. Shortly after, my camera batteries were both dead, and Trevor just finished off doing this wall. He was right here smoothing out some of the bumps that were sticking out, and he finished it off, and we were done for the night. A pretty close estimate of the cost for just the countertops and the backsplash was about $50, but I bought them during the Amazon Prime sale. It would have been a little more. I'm going to say it may not have been quite that expensive, but that's an estimate. Thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. Have a wonderful day, and as always, happy cleaning. Till the next one, bye-bye.